Hi, I'm Scott Garvey, machinery editor at Grain News Magazine, and with me, of course, is Spencer Myers behind the camera where you can't see him. We're still on the grounds of Canada's Outdoor Farm Show at Woodstock, Ontario, and this time with a really different kind of product called the Eshepherd, and it's from a company called Agernsens. And with me here today is Sally Haynes, and Sally is chief scientist of animal behavior with that company. And Sally, tell me about what Eshepherd does.
Right, well, Eshepherd is a revolutionary animal management system. It's been developed in Australia, and I'm very pleased to be here at the show demonstrating it to everyone. So basically, it's a product that allows you to virtually fence your animals, to move them, and to monitor them remotely. So essentially, your cattle wear a collar, just like this.
And that's it here?
That is like a genuine collar that goes on one of our animals, and using your tablet or your laptop or your iPhone, you manage your animals through there. So you virtually draw a fence using GPS points on your tablet. That gets sent to a base station, and those GPS points get sent to the collar, which then works autonomously and teaches the animal using a unique training algorithm where the fence is. So it gives you the opportunity to increase your productivity, use your land more sustainably, and also protect the environment as well.
So there's no more going out with a post pounder and pounding in fence posts and stretching wire. You simply attach one of these around the neck of each cow, or I suppose it would function with sheep as well.
So this one's specifically designed for cattle. We're focusing on cattle at the moment.
Okay.
Down the track, we hope to work with some research organisations back in Australia, and we've certainly got lots of ideas, and we think that sheep will respond. But just for the moment, we're focusing on cattle.
So then, the cattle go out into a range, and they're restricted. Their movement is restricted in that range without standard fencing at all.
Correct. So we do recommend that these are used for internal boundaries. We
Right.
still think that you should be using external boundaries to protect, the roads and everything like that. But essentially, the animal approaches the fence, and as they approach the fence, they hear a beep, and if they respond to that beep and they stand still or they turn away, nothing happens. They can actually rest right on the virtual fence and nothing happens. However, if they keep going forward towards the virtual fence, they'll immediately receive a pulse, which is aversive but it's not harmful. And then what we see is within one or two experiences, they figure out that the audio means that they need to make a choice and they need to stop or turn around.
So it just sort of startles them away from
Yeah,
from
absolutely.
the boundary.
So, they're big animals, so we can't sort of just give them a tickle, but we, do test this on ourselves, so it's not terrible, but it does have to be aversive enough to stop a large animal like that.
Right.
But the beauty is that the system also it uses GPS, but it also uses an internal sensor unit that picks up animal behaviour. So that gives us great accuracy about what the animal's doing. We can detect whether they're grazing, whether they're walking, whether they're resting, and we expect features to be added to this as we go along to be able to detect lameness and calving and whether an animal's in trouble or on heat. So we expect all those things to be added to the system. The other great thing about this is that if an animal is chased by a predator or it panics and it runs, the system detects that the animal is over-aroused and it allows the animal to run through the fence. When the animal is calmed down, the system detects that and then it applies the stimulus again. So an audio, and then it's followed by a pulse if the animal doesn't respond to the audio. It's always an audio, then a pulse. The animal turns around and it's allowed to return to the herd. So they can actually go back into the herd, return to the inclusion zone from the exclusion zone.
So they would actually cross what was the boundary, but as long as they're going back.
As long as they're going in the right direction, the system lets them go. So it's a smart system. It's not just a static fence.
And it's solar powered, so you're not changing batteries all the time.
Correct. So there's a battery in there, and this solar panel is the latest in design, and that trickle charges into the battery. And we're having great success with that at the moment.
So, as you say, you're testing it in Australia. You're expecting to launch it in Canada commercially next year. Is that right?
Yeah, we're looking at 2019 at this stage. Yeah.
Okay, and anyone who wants more information on it now, is there a website?
Certainly, they can go to Agernsens.com. That's AGERSENS.com. They can sign up for our newsletter, they can make an inquiry, and we can work with them from there.
Thank you, Sally.
My pleasure.